Today, we're diving into a really radical new idea in software. It's a complete paradigm shift from everything we know. I want you to imagine applications that can literally build themselves.
Just think about it for a second. We have these ridiculously powerful computers, right? But the software we run on them, it's fundamentally passive. It just sits there, waiting for us to click something, to give it a command. It never gets better. It never adapts to how you actually work. And you gotta ask, why is that?
Well, that passivity, that's the core problem we're going to unpack right now. It's this fundamental limitation that affects, and I mean every single piece of software we use, even the ones with all the flashy AI features.
So this really frames the huge shift we're talking about. On the one hand, we're used to software being a static tool, a very sophisticated hammer maybe. It waits for you to tell it what to do. The new idea, though, is to think of software as a living teammate. Something that actually anticipates what you need, that actively participates in what you're doing, and gets this, it understands your goals.
And there's a name for this problem. It's called the static application bottleneck. See, you can add all the AI chatbots and smart features you want, but they're basically trapped inside a rigid, unchangeable application. The core architecture is locked, so the AI might be really smart, but the application itself is like a cage that just can't evolve.
So, how do we break out of that cage? This is where things get really cool. Let's talk about the solution, a concept that sounds like something straight out of science fiction, but is actually becoming a reality. Software that builds itself. Just let that question sink in for a moment. This isn't about AI helping a developer write code a bit faster. No. This is about the application itself, after it's on your computer, literally modifying its own structure and its own capabilities, all based on how you use it. And of course, there's a name for this. It's called a living application, or LAP for short. The key phrases here, the ones you really need to hear, are modify its own behavior and without external developer intervention. It learns and grows because it's collaborating directly with you.
So how does this self-building thing actually work? Well, it tends to evolve along three key dimensions. First, you've got functional evolution. The app literally develops new features for you just by watching your work patterns. Second is interface adaptation. The UI, the buttons, the menus, they actually change to better match how you work. And third, capability expansion. This is the big one. It can learn entirely new skills to help you out.
All right, so let's look at how one of these living applications actually comes to life. It's a journey, really, one that transforms a simple idea into an intelligent partner.
The interesting thing is, this journey doesn't start with some complicated plan or blueprint. It all begins with a simple intent. You just state a goal. From there, just by you using it and giving feedback, the application starts building out features. It learns your specific workflow, and eventually, it gets sophisticated enough to improve itself. It's a true evolution, from a tiny idea to a full-blown intelligent partner.
Now let's put these two worlds side by side, because the difference is just staggering. In the traditional cycle, it's so rigid, right? A developer writes code, you get a static release, and you give some feedback. But in the living app cycle, it's totally different. You, the user, declare an intent. The process is you and the app collaborating. And the result isn't a single release, it's continuous, non-stop evolution.
And this completely changes your role in the whole process. You're not just a passive consumer of software anymore. By using it, by interacting with it, you are actively shaping its future. You actually become its co-developer.
And this co-developer relationship, it's a real partnership of strengths. You bring the human stuff, the creative vision, the strategic goals, the domain expertise. The application, the AI agent, brings what it's good at: insane pattern recognition, lightning-fast implementation speed, and the ability to synthesize knowledge and turn your ideas into functional code, like instantly.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. What happens when this isn't just one application working this way, but an entire ecosystem of them? The implications here are, well, they're massive.
It means something pretty profound, actually. It means the end of software becoming obsolete. Think about that. If an application can constantly adapt and evolve to meet new challenges, you never have to throw it away and buy a new one. It just grows with you.
This creates a completely new relationship with our tech. The time you invest in an application, it compounds. It makes the app more valuable over time, not less. Your personal expertise actually accumulates inside the tool itself. And in a whole ecosystem of these things, the apps can learn from each other, making the entire system smarter and smarter.
The ultimate vision, The big goal here is something called intelligence amplification. This is about creating software that doesn't just do what we tell it to do, but genuinely enhances our ability to think. Each living application becomes like a specialized intellectual partner, basically extending our own minds.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought. Forget thinking of software as a passive tool that you operate. Start imagining it as an active teammate you collaborate with. If that was your reality, right now, what incredible problems would you solve together?